Hey everyone, it's your boy Matt here. This is just a video for whatever the fucking day it currently is. So I'm gonna finally address and put to rest some of the weird shit with poor Cara. So what happened is that this poor girl, she somehow ended up in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community, and I think it came through Instagram. And I did my house tour, and at the time I had a couple of med students living together, and it was a really good thing because we had these great conversations. I love living in share houses, and I like to own it, and I like to run it. I can't do that really anymore because I'm a very publicly exposed person, so that chapter of my life is probably over. um, but yeah, I used to do that. And uh, poor Cara comes into the house, and Jake was who's this guy, and we had this very close. So we're a fraternity. That's the best way to think of it. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu gyms, they're like fraternities, and there's also she hit multiple fraternities at once. So and so, for example, I know Michael from a very strong connection through Georgie, and it's sort of like with martial arts, when you get really into it, it's it's a different cultural group, and there are these weird families, like the relationships that we have with our the with like our senior coaches. Like they have fucking pictures of them on the walls and stuff. And in the more traditional martial arts, like say Kyokushin karate or something like that guy is meant to be sort of like really much respected. And there is these hierarchies, and it's very strange. And like the poor girl, there's this guy called Jake, and Jake, because Kara's last name was Murray, was like he thought that that was related to someone that Michael was seeing. And because he felt like he was left out, and he was like a jealous kid, really. It was so strange. Like, it's the dynamics at play, and the how immature grown men can be. And I think that there was some immaturity with me there, but I see far more with poor Jake, and what that fucking weird thing was going on. I was at an insane level of stress. I didn't have any way to relieve the stress, because the only way I used to like work out all the fucking time, but then I had a hand injury, and then multiple other injuries after that. So I became this obese fucking mess. Um, and I'm getting just like, and Jake's kind of saying all this weird stuff and attacking me for some reason all the time. And I now realize that's just the kind of person he is. If it's not me, it will be someone else. He is pathologically like that. Uh, but this strange thing happened, and so I thought, like like because he was saying it, I thought he was telling me something that I needed to know as well. Um, and Jocko had mentioned it beforehand, and I was just very confused about the whole thing. It felt like a setup or something, and I wasn't sure how I was meant to behave, because it is actually quite a hierarchical system. Like, and these men, these older men, they expect to have some degree of control and authority over us. It's very strange. They'll like Jocko still thinks he has some say in how I live my life. Well, he until recently, um, and Michael has as well. And it's and because of that, the way you tend to think in that culture is, what does the person higher up in the hierarchy want me to do? And you and it's something which Michael was very good at doing, because he grew up in a cult, and he does have this weird cult thing going on. And to me, when I see these things, like I've been able to learn a lot from watching Michael. I do admit that I tried my best to be the best student I could be, and I did learn a significant amount of skills from him, including that weird cult shit. And I don't claim to run a cult or in a serious sense. I claim to be a person who's attempted the process of building ideology. I've tried to create symbolisms. I've tried to be able to create something which would allow a political movement or a revolution if we wanted it to be, and it wouldn't be in Australia. I have no interest in really overthrowing anything here apart from some incompetent executive branches. I intend to achieve all my political aims through legitimate means. All my means have been legitimate. I need to express that. Um, but like, yeah, so it was just a weird roller coaster. Uh, and this poor girl, she's going through she has some significant issues. She is the most plastic person I have ever met in my life. So plastic. The definition of plastic. It's a mean part of a movie called Mean Girls, from the early 2000s. It's really good. But she was like the picture. She is the picture example of that, and she's had to go through all the emotional junk of the strange frat culture, which is both, and she's had to process this because this is not kind of stuff that she's ever really sort of thought she'd have to, I guess. So she's had to have a big developmental leap as well, because she's been exposed to all kinds of crap. And I compare that to my other friends who have been engaged in stuff, and I'm like, you know, it's the last couple of years have been a lot for everyone, haven't they? Anyway, Cara, I wish you well. Like, it's probably good that we don't talk, and uh, the whole thing was such a weird situation. It's I have been a part of some very strange, dark shit, and uh, yeah, it's been interesting. Have a good one.